Hey, what's good YouTube? Target here and welcome to another episode of Design and Manage, my city Skylines and modded Let's Play series. In the last episode we have built a lot of industry using the Industries DLC, the new expansion pack that came out for this game. And today I've said that I was going to focus more on the expansion of the city and we can set the DLC aside. And that's exactly what we're going to do. But before we do that, I've received a lot of feedback on the last episode regarding my industries, and most specifically the forestry industry, and I want to touch a bit on that, so let's jump into that. Alright, so here we are at our forestry industry. It's doing quite nicely. It's doing very well indeed. We are running into a bit of a loss and we also are underworked. We have a capacity for 1500 workers and we only have about 500. And one of the things that most of you guys mentioned regarding this, you pretty much said that the reason this forestry industry is not being used at its fullest capacity is because it doesn't have any natural resources nearby. So if I go over here to this tab, well, I can see that we have a lot of resources. This is all green, but most of you said that these buildings would be producing a lot more if we had a lot of trees right next to them or even below them. So I can even take these buildings, replace them, place some trees underneath and then place some trees back again. So that's something that we can work on right away. I don't think I'm going to place any trees below the buildings, I'm just going to place them around them and I will see how it turns out. So I'll see you in a second. Alright guys, so I've just filled some blank areas that we had in this industry area with some trees, and I've also, for the sake of testing, I've placed a row of trees or a bunch of trees right below these greenhouses. And you know what, I think we already have some significant improvement. So if I click on these, we can see that the production rate is 7,000 per week in every single one of these. There we go. There we go, this one as well. And if I click these ones, the ones that don't have any trees, the production rate is much lower. So look at this one is 5,000, this one is 6,000, and it pretty much decreases as we go further away from the bunch of trees. So this one is like 2,000, this one is 4, this one is 3, this one is 7 actually. So what I think I'm gonna do is put a lot of trees underneath every single one of these buildings, and I'm gonna see how much do we improve in our production rate. So let's just try it. Okay guys, so I've been working a bit further into this industry and I've placed a bunch of trees underneath all the buildings, so they are now producing at full capacity. So if I click every single one of these small greenhouses, you will see that every single one of them is producing at 7,232, every single one of them without exception. So the fact that the number is the same for all of them means that they're working at full capacity, or at least I believe. These big ones are producing at 940, so pretty much all of them, 940, there you go, and also this one. And these small ones, as you can see, are producing at 5,424, 5,424, every single one of them. So yeah, I usually don't cram so many trees into one sim location, but the fact that this is a forestry industry makes it very suitable, and I actually like the way this thing has turned out, so I think we can keep it at that. the lack of resources problem seems to have been dissipated. We still have a building that doesn't have enough raw forest products, but besides that, this area seems to be working much better. If I click on it, we can see that the production rate is completely out of proportion. We're producing a lot of resources and we still have some problems with workers, but as I zone some residentially, hopefully this problem will subside. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the intro of this episode, and I'm gonna wrap up the forestry industry right now and we're gonna move on to other parts of the city. I would just like to thank you guys for giving me such good feedback. It's really gratifying when some of you guys teach me how to play this game a bit better, instead of just being always me teaching you guys how to play the game better. So thank you so much for that, and let's move on to other things. Oh, look at that, it's time for our daily forest fire. Okay, so here we are at the main part of the city, or at least the densest part of the city, and we need to zone a few more buildings in this layout. So we have a lot of demand for residential and commercial, so I think that's something we can work on. I already have some zoning planned out, so as you can see, I've been zoning commercial right along my main avenue, so I think that's a trend that we can continue. And I think I'm going to start with that because that's the most intuitive way to zone commercial. So let's see, I'm going to zone a lot of commercial in this avenue. And also this one. I'm not going to zone anything inside here because this is part of the park that we're going to develop in the future. So let's just zone all of this with commercial. And I think I'm going to place some commercial in this avenue as well. So let's place some commercial here, some commercial there, and let's zone it all the way until here. And also this little segment as well, near the intersection. And I think that's it. Oh no, we're still missing a bit. So this avenue can also be commercial. Hopefully this will not be a problem when it comes to traffic. But I believe we are going to be fine. So now that we have done that, we can start zoning some offices as a gap between commercial and also residential. So this thing is going to be offices. Let's zone a lot of offices in here, over here, and also a small block of offices in here as well. Okay, maybe we can make this a full building. Pretty cool. And oh, okay, we also need a gap of offices here and also a gap of offices here as well. So perhaps we can zone all of this with offices. Pretty cool. We can also go ahead and put some commercial there. And I think that's gonna be fine. Now we can start zoning some residential in the space that we have left. So all of this can be high density residential, and also here, and all of this can be residential as well because we have already zoned everything with commercial and also offices. So let's start putting some residential in this area. Maybe we can even zone some small blocks over here, and maybe we can leave this area blank. Okay, so now that we have developed some more buildings over here, we can start enabling some of these buildings. So we can enable this elementary school, and we can also enable this medical clinic, and that will greatly help increasing the land value of this area. And now that we're at it, I think we can start working a bit on public transport. So one of the things that I want to do is enable this metro station, and perhaps we can set a few lines. So let's go to the metro tab and let's add a few stops. Oh, there we go, there are already some stops here. Okay, perfect. And now of course we can put some bus stops to feed this entire area and take everyone from this neighborhood to this particular metro station. So I think I'm gonna start with a line over here. I'm gonna bring it all the way over there, and perhaps another stop here and another one there. Let's see how far I can take this. Perhaps another one here, and oh, of course I cannot go around, so perhaps we can make this in any other way. Let me try going through the outside and make another stop here. Let's make a stop right in front of the metro station. Now let's go back and make another stop here. Now let's go through here, here, another one here, and now we can start heading back. Oh, and there we go. Just as I predicted, by zoning some residential, we have increased the number of employees to our forestry industry, which made it go to level 4. So we're gonna go back there when we need to, in a short time, pretty much. But before that, I wanna keep doing what I'm doing here. What I wanna do is move this stop right in front of the park entrance, and now I can delete this one. And I also would like to put an additional bus line over here, because I don't think this one is going to be enough to feed this entire area. But for the time being, I think we can live up with that. Also, another thing that I want to do is go ahead and enable this university. And we can also enable these things. What's the upkeep of this? I don't remember. 640. So this is actually quite expensive, but I think we can live with that. So let's enable all of this. This will greatly increase land value. So we can already see some people going to the university by metro and also by private vehicle and bus, but it seems that the university still doesn't have a lot of students, so I believe we should wait a bit longer until we start seeing some development and start seeing some action. This is also a good time to start focusing on leisure, so let's put up some parks. I can put this fountain park, not the fountain park, but the ice sculpture park, right about over here, because it fits perfectly. And let's see, what else can we put? I think we can put a couple of small parks right in front of the university and make it sort of a green space. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I don't dislike that. Perhaps we can make it even better with some paths. So one path over here, and we should reconnect this right about... Let's disable all the guides and connect it right about here. Perfect. Let's see if I can move this forward. One entrance here and one entrance there. Okay, yeah, I think this thing looks good, and it also provides a bit of land value, which is great. I think this area is pretty much asking for a plaza, so let's put it there. It covers all this entire area, which is great. Now perhaps we can put a large playground right about in this area, maybe around over here, right next to the pathway. How about that? Let's just place it. There we go. Let me just diszone this residential. We are not going to need it. And it also creates a few pathways that we can use to connect to this part of the city as well, but I'm still not sure about that. And finally, just to cover this this bit of land that is still not fully covered with parks, we can put my custom made park. Where is it? Here it is. Let's just put it here, and that should be enough to put this area to the fullest leisure potential. Alright, there we go. It also seems that we are on the verge of having heating problems. Well, I already had some buildings complaining right about a second ago, so let's build another one of these things, geothermal heating plants. So for that I will need to delete this segment of road and place another one. Let me see, where is it? It's right about up here, and let's put it there. Perfect. Let's connect it, and let's continue this road, and perhaps we can go straight ahead. No, let's keep it curved like it was before. Let's curve it at about over here. Okay, cool. Let's also keep zoning some more. So I know that I want all of this to be residential, so let's zone it. And let's also zone some residential over here and on these little blocks. And there we go. See the amount of people walking from the metro station to the university and vice versa? That's exactly what I wanted to see. So pretty cool. Oh, and look at that, another issue has arisen, so let's take care of power. And finally, I want to finish up the zoning on this part of the district. So let's put some offices over here and maybe some offices over here as well, and this can be residential. So let's set it up. Pretty cool. And this should be empty. I don't know why I zoned commercial in here, but this is not right. There we go, perfect. Alright guys, while we let the main part of the city develop, we can take care of other things. Going back to the forestry industry, by reaching level 4 we have unlocked a few more buildings. One of them is the industry maintenance building, which is a very useful building. So let's continue this road all the way over here, and let's place, here we go, the forestry maintenance building, and we can place it right about over here. Maybe we can, no, we cannot put it on this side, so let's set it here, and that should be okay. I can also go on the policies, because this is such a big industry, and put all the policies in this industry. That should help out quite a bit. Also, we have unlocked a large greenhouse, which I think will look very good in the place of this one. So here you go, it occupies the exact same location, but it will also produce less than these two combined, but I think it will look better. Let me just check how this thing will look like. Okay, so this is how it looks. It also has this small building over here, which I think is great for contrast, so I think I'm going to replace all of these with these large ones. There we go, it looks much better now. Let's take a look at our unique factories. Let's see what else we have unlocked. The only new building that we have unlocked is this one, the soft paper factory, which requires a lot of resources and is also a gigantic building. And you know what? I think this is actually a good location for it. So I don't know, let's place it right about over here. Let's do that. Let's just check how it looks. It looks amazing, I like it. And you know what? I think it fits perfectly. Look at this. Yeah, I really like this, look at that. I just don't like how the terrain is kind of messed up, so let's fix it. Alright, look at that guys, much better. I really like how it fits here. It kind of occupies a lot of space, but I think now we can occupy the rest of the space with some residential, you know, and occupy the rest of the island. What do you guys think about this? I also want to take advantage of this opportunity to start naming some districts after some of my followers. I have been receiving quite a lot of good feedback in my past couple of videos, and I would like to reward some of you guys. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm gonna go to this district that contains the Bullet Boy farms. Now that we have a farm with his name, we can name this after someone else, and I'm gonna name it after Paladino district, and there we go. I am gonna name my oil specialization industry into Thor, so let's go into here and name it Thor refining site. So another one taken care of. Applegate Heights will become Radoslaw Pagoda Heights. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Who am I kidding? Probably not. But anyway, Autumn Square will become James English Square. Perfect. And finally, the Fairview Heights will become Watson Deerstrow Heights. And let me just make sure the name is spelled correctly. Yes, it is. Perfect. And that's gonna be it for my district naming. Before I wrap up this episode, I wanna come and take a look at our ore and also oil specialization industries. One thing that I've done on the past episode, not on the past episode, between the past episode and also this one, while I was off camera, was enable this cargo train terminal. And I've done so with the hopes that it would help to bring more natural resources to these buildings, but it does not seem to be the case. So one thing that I'm gonna do, I cannot do anything about this, unfortunately, because I do not have the extraction power. So what I'm gonna do now is pretty much disable and turn off half of the buildings, the ones that are not being used, and in the future I might even delete them. So it's quite unfortunate, but right now they're just spending money, and that's not okay. So let's just disable a couple of them. There we go, I think this is enough for now, and let's see how this thing develops now. As I've mentioned, it's quite unfortunate that I have to disable them, but right now they're just charging maintenance costs and they're causing unnecessary traffic, so there's no point in having them enabled. Let's see if these green icons go away in the future. Let's see the development of this. Okay guys, but that's gonna be it for today. Quite a bunch of development in this episode, and with this we are one step closer to ending up this series. With the purchase of the last tile on the last episode, a lot of people have expressed their concerns with this series ending, and a lot of people have been asking me, even though I have answered this question multiple times, people have been asking me if I am going to install the 25 tiles mod or the 81 tiles mod to continue this series. And as I've said multiple times, the answer is no. I am not going to install any mods in this series because this is a purely unmodded series and I intend to keep it as such until the end. When I run out of space to build, or simply when I think the city is developed to its fullest potential with the available 9 tiles, I will simply end up this series. I still haven't decided what I'm gonna do when this series ends. Most likely I will make a season 2 of Design and Manage, so the exactly same gameplay style but in another map. And of course the city will be designed differently. But anyway, I cannot confirm you any of this because I still haven't made any final decisions. What I can say, however, is tell you to not worry too much about it because we still have a long way until we finish this series. There's a lot of things that I want to build that I haven't built yet, and there's also another things that I need to optimize in locations that are already built in the city, so don't worry too much about that. Don't worry too much about the series ending. But anyway guys, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If so, and if you wanna follow the development of the city, don't forget to subscribe to get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching guys, and as always, have fun!